The morning bell echoed through Brookdale High, a school where laughter was supposed to be free. But not everyone got to laugh the same way. The corridors smelled of new paint and old secrets. Students brushed past each other, gossiping, joking, living their perfect little high school lives. But in the middle of it all, a quiet new girl walked with her eyes fixed on the floor. Her name was Amara Daniels, 16 years old, transferred from Atlanta after her father's death. Her mother, a nurse, had moved to Brookdale hoping for a fresh start. Amara didn't talk much. She kept her books close, her words closer. Her dark skin glowed beautifully under the sunlight that streamed through the classroom windows. But to some, that was enough reason to pick on her. That's where the story begins. NT Classroom Day. The class was buzzing. The teacher hadn't arrived yet. A group of kids, Lindsay, the self-proclaimed Queen Bee, her boyfriend Derek, and his two sidekicks Mason and Kyle, were in their usual corner. Throwing paper balls at each other and laughing, Amara quietly slipped into a seat at the back, her notebook neatly opened. She wrote her name in careful handwriting. Amara D. Lindsay's eyes caught her. She smirked. "Who's the new charity case?" she said loudly so everyone could hear. Derek chuckled. "Looks like she's too good to talk to us." Amara didn't respond. She just kept writing. That silence, or that quiet strength, somehow made Lindsay hate her even more. Lindsay stood up, her heels clicking against the classroom floor. "Well," she said, walking over, "we don't do silent treatment here. You knew?" Amara looked up softly. "Yeah, I just moved here." "From where?" Lindsay asked, fake smile plastered on her face. "Atlanta." "Atlanta?" Mason sneered. "Oh, so you think you're all cool now?" Amara blinked, confused. "No, I just—" Before she could finish, Lindsay snatched her notebook and flipped through the pages. "Oh, look, she's one of those nerds. Perfect handwriting, no personality." The class chuckled. Amara stood up quietly and tried to take her notebook back. "Please give it back." Lindsay pulled it away, grinning. "Or what?" Amara's hand trembled, but her eyes held steady. "Or I'll take it. Something—" In Amara's tone, calm but unshakable, made the room go silent for a second. Lindsay smirked again and shoved the notebook hard. Against Amara's chest. "Fine, take it." Then she stuck her foot out. Amara stumbled, lost her balance, and fell hard to the ground. The class gasped, then burst into laughter. Derek clapped sarcastically. "Nice one, Lindsay." As Amara tried to get up, Derek gave her notebook a swift kick, sending it sliding across the floor. "Oops," he said. "Guess it slipped." Amara's eyes watered, but she didn't cry. She picked up her notebook silently, brushed off the dirt, and walked out of the classroom without a word. Behind her, laughter echoed, sharp and cruel, but none of them noticed the small tremor in her hand, or the whisper she said to herself under her breath, "You shouldn't have done that." Interdiri. School. Hallway. Lunchtime. Amara sat alone at a lunch table, untouched food in front of her. Her mother's words replayed in her mind. "Baby, no matter how people treat you, don't let them change who you are." But inside, something was changing. That night, she went home and sat in front of her computer. She opened a folder titled Dad's Legacy. Inside were old photos. Her father in a martial arts dojo, his arms around a small girl in a white karate uniform. Her. Her father had been a karate instructor before he passed away. He had taught her everything: balance, control, defense. "Never start a fight," he used to say, "but always finish it if someone crosses your line." Amara closed her eyes. The memory of her father's voice mixed with the laughter of those bullies. She made a silent decision. Tomorrow, she wouldn't stay silent anymore. Int classroom. Next day. The morning sun slanted through the blinds. The same bullies were laughing again. This time, they had drawn a caricature of Amara on the whiteboard. Exaggerated lips, big hair, cruel words scribbled beside it. Lindsay turned and smiled sweetly as Amara walked in. "Morning, Atlanta," she said. "We made you some art." Amara froze for a second, her hands trembling slightly. Then she slowly erased the drawing, every line, without saying a word. That quietness. Again. It made Derek scoff. "Hey, we're talking to you!" He stood up and kicked her chair leg hard. It scraped across the floor. The class fell silent. "Don't ignore me," Derek said, grinning. "You hear me?" And then, he did something that changed everything. He gave her a small kick in the shin, laughing. "Wake up, new girl!" Amara's books fell. The silence after that felt like thunder building in the sky. She looked up, slowly, eyes calm but burning. Everyone froze. No one knew what was about to happen, but in her father's voice echoing inside her mind, she heard. The air felt thick. Even the buzzing of the ceiling fan seemed to fade. Amara set her books down gently on the desk. Then she turned to face Derek. "I asked you not to touch me," she said quietly. Derek smirked. "Or what, huh?" Before he could blink, she moved. A blur, a twist, a perfect practiced movement. Amara grabbed Derek's wrist, spun, and sent him flat on his back in one clean motion. The sound of his fall echoed through the room. The class gasped. Lindsay stood frozen, her jaw open. Amara didn't hit him, didn't even raise her voice. She just stood there, breathing steadily, eyes fixed on Derek. "Don't ever touch me again." For a second, no one moved. Then Derek groaned, clutching his arm. Not hurt badly, just stunned. Lindsay screamed, "You psycho! You'll get expelled!" The teacher, Mr. Reynolds, finally walked in at that very moment. He looked around the room, saw Derek on the floor, Amara standing there. "What's going on here?" The class stayed silent. No one wanted to speak. Lindsay pointed. "She attacked him!" Amara looked down, quiet again. But before Mr. Reynolds could respond, a voice from the back spoke up. It was Jenny, one of the quiet girls who always sat near the window. "No, sir," Jenny said firmly. "They were bullying her. Derek kicked her first. We all saw it." Then another voice chimed in. "Yeah, she didn't do anything wrong." And another, and another. One by one, students stood up. For the first time, they stood with Amara. Mr. Reynolds sighed deeply and turned to Derek's group. "Office. Now." In T, principal's office. Later. Lindsay sat arms crossed, furious. Derek looked embarrassed. Principal Harris reviewed the camera footage from the classroom. There it was. Everything. The mocking, the kick, the humiliation. Then Amara's self-defense, swift and controlled. The principal leaned back, his face hard. "So," he said slowly, "you three thought this was funny?" No one spoke. He turned to Amara. "You handled yourself better than most adults would have, Miss Daniels. I'm proud of you." Her eyes softened. "Thank you, sir. My dad taught me that silence isn't weakness. It's patience." The bullies were suspended. The whole school heard about it, but that wasn't the end. XT School Courtyard, afternoon. Amara sat under a tree, sketching quietly. The same kids who used to ignore her now greeted her with small smiles. Jenny sat down beside her. "You were amazing today." Amara smiled faintly. "I just did what was right." Jenny nodded. "You made them regret it." Amara looked up at the sky. "I didn't want revenge," she said softly. "I just wanted them to see me, not my color, not my silence. Me." A gentle breeze passed through, carrying the smell of blooming jasmine. Somewhere, she felt her father smiling. Montage. Soft music plays. Lindsay helping pick up papers in detention, head bowed. Derek sitting alone, rubbing his wrist. Thoughtful, regretful. Amara teaching a few kids basic self-defense after school, smiling for the first time. A new sense of respect replacing fear. Int classroom, weeks later. Mr. Reynolds was talking about courage. Sometimes, he said, courage doesn't mean fighting back with anger. It means standing your ground with grace. Amara looked up, a quiet pride in her eyes. Moral of the story: silence isn't weakness. Kindness isn't surrender. But when pushed too far, the quiet ones are often the strongest.